Good afternoon. Well, what a rush that was to get home from work, and I can't even spell. We are back here this afternoon for another one-loss side match in the VP4 10-ball World Championships. In fact, I should have left the room there to double check if the players were both here. I know Mr9ball's here. Right, acero's arrived as well. There's a few things to talk about probably during the match. Good afternoon. Right, both players are in and both players are going to lag off, and once again I don't know who's who. But what a rush to go home. I actually had to get my dinner as well, and I've got a cup of coffee here, so apologies for the slurping, but I need something to wash everything down. And I'm still recovering from a cold as well, so apart from that everything's great. So acero wins the lag, and remember it's alternate break. It's a called shot game, 10 ball. All combos and banks should be called. Well, the first bit of news is the match that I'd been looking forward to, Mr9ball and Real Poland Power. I don't know why. I spoke to Stub, as we'll call him, and he said that they arranged it for a time at night and Bill didn't turn up, so that's the end of that. I don't know what the problem was. The problem started from the fact that neither of the two of them would put a time into the bracket, and there was so much pissing about. Bill's been busy, so his time is limited when he can be here. He's busy working, and so is Stub as well, I believe, but they couldn't settle on a time, and they were just waiting one another turning up. And so anyway, Bill ended up forfeiting. The other match with Vinces and Spectre Dawn, well, it was on a Monday, then it went to a Tuesday, then it's back to Saturday. I don't know whether it's changed between me going to work today and coming back this afternoon, but if it stays as it was, this third change that they've had, I should be able to stream it, but I'm going to double check it, because it might have changed again. Oh dear. So acero looking to kick out, and he's pretty good at the kicking, this guy. I'll give him credit for that. That was a good kick and a good save as well. So clearly acero is in the wrong game here. He should be playing three cushion billiards. You are winding me up. I mean, it's been risky. I'm going to have a look at the bracket now while they're messing about. Let's have a look. Where the hell is it? Yeah, it's set for 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, so nobody touch that. That's fine. I'll be able to get that, no problem. Good afternoon. Now, as I said, if you hear any slurping going on, it's because I'm getting a cup of coffee. I've just had a big fish and chip supper. When I came home, I rushed home to get it. I had to get something to eat first. Well, that's what I was thinking. He's in the wrong game here playing this, because he should definitely be playing three rail billiards or something like that. Yeah, my nose is still running. That's me had it for a week and how many days now? It was a week ago on Sunday there that I caught this, and it's still in my chest. Like I say, it always takes about 2 weeks or more for it to clear out. So, well, as far as this match goes, acero, you would put him down as a favourite, but there's nothing in it between the two guys. I mean, Mr9ball has done well to get this far, and there's no reason why he shouldn't go any further. But the match we're all waiting for is tomorrow. Spectre Dawn and Vinces. Vinces being the hot favourite now in my book. I wouldn't be taking any further bets on that. And then of course you've got Stub still kicking around, and I think Stub is waiting on the winner of this match. On the loser's side, or the one-loss side final. I think it is anyway. Quick look. I'm totally confused and in a hurry here. Yeah, so that's the bracket there. Real Poland powers there, and the winner of this match goes through. I'll tell a lie. The winner of this match goes through to play in the semi of the one-loss side, because obviously the losers comes across from the Vince Spectre Dawn match. I forgot about that. So we're not quite there yet, but we're not far off it. So Mr9ball, well, he's done as best as he can to get on this 7, but he's going to have to pull out a good shot here to get on this 8. He's entirely the wrong angle in this 7 ball. He's going to have to try and either go around the corner, and the problem there is he's going to run into the 10 going that way. Oh, and I've got the wrong mouse as well. I'm going to have to change my mouse. I hate this mouse for this. Yeah, he's going to avoid, got to avoid that 10. He's going to try and draw around. He's avoided the 10, and he's got a nice bounce, and that is a very good shot. Excellent shot. Good afternoon, Popman. I think I was doing about 90 mile an hour coming down the road there when I finished work at 4 o'clock. And coming out of Glasgow at this time of night on a Friday is not good. It is really busy. But I got here. And so Mr9ball, a very well taken run out here for this first rack. And that sends a message to Acero. And not only that, Mr9ball has won it against the break. So just in case I didn't tell you, Popman, the Vince Spectre Dawn match has been rescheduled again for Saturday. It was originally Monday, then they rescheduled it to Tuesday, which was no good for me because I would have been at work. And the match would have been more than halfway through by the time I got home. Now it's been rescheduled again for tomorrow at 4 PM. And if it doesn't change between now and tomorrow, then I should have it, no problem. I've got a relatively short shift tomorrow, and I'll be home. So Mr9ball, well, it's not easy. He's going to have to get good on this 6 and get back up for this 7 if he's going to try and run this rack as well. Now he could go around the corner. He's looking to play a big draw here. Oh no, I thought he was going to do the old heave-ho draw. And now the important one is whether he can miss that 10 ball. Right, I'm going to take a time out in a minute or two. What does that say? Senex time. What language is that you're typing there, Popman? I haven't a clue what that's about. Well, oh, he's played it well. Lots of inside left English to square the cue ball off that top rail. That was an excellent shot. A very good shot. And the whole idea of that was to avoid hitting that 9 ball, and he played that perfect as well. Well, it looks as if he's going to race into a 2-0 lead here, and he's worth every ball that he's potted. This is a cracking start for Mr9ball. And I'm going to have a cough. Well, if it's lagging on Twitch, try YouTube. Or maybe you've got half a dozen other squatters all try to use the internet at the same time in where you are. So Acero has broke off in rack number 3. Yeah, but he's on Twitch, Tin. Well, that's another mistake by Acero. Now, what's happened to Mr9ball here? This doesn't look good. Now, is he thinking about something? Because his cue's disappeared. And we could have a problem here. Oh, the clock's going. But ball in hand for Mr9ball, and he's lining up a 110 combo here. Well, this would be a bonus if he can pull this one off. It is not easy to line up being so close to the rail with the cue ball. But in it goes. In it goes, and it's 3-0. Well, Mr9ball couldn't have asked for any better start in this match. Every chance he's had, he's taken. And, well, that bonus there was the 210 combo, or the 110 combo, whatever it was, I can't remember already. But he's got a ball in the break. Now, I don't think he can, well, he can jump to get to the 1. And there's a fair chance that if he pots that 1, he would be able to get on the 3 if he doesn't play it with too much power. But he's looking to push, and why not? He might, don't take any risks. Make your opponent sweat, put the pressure on them. That's the whole idea. He could have went all out for the jump on the 1, and he did the right thing playing the safety. He'll have been proved right if he can win this rack as well. But the pressure's now on Acero right from the start of this match. Oh dear, that's beautiful. I need that strong caffeine hit. Well, Acero has an easy safety if he can try and drop in behind. Sorry, Mr9ball has an easy safety. The pass has been, the push has been passed back to Mr9ball, but there is an easy safety here. If he can get the pace right, can try and drop that cue ball right in behind the 5. Well, that was not the best of shots there. That was pretty poor. He hit that far too hard. I don't know whether he tried to pot the 1, but certainly trying to get in behind the 5 looked a fairly straightforward shot. Cheers, pot, snaky poured and down, and I don't know what the hell kind of discussion's going on here in this chat here, but it's way over my head. Anyway, Acero at the table, and well, he simply has to run out, and he's gone too far, and he's almost blocked out by the knuckle here, I think. Well, he's okay, he can just get there, but he's got far too much angle on this 5 ball, and he's going to have to take the risk and let it run. Well, that needs to just slow up a tad. That was a good shot. And he should be on the 7 here. And if he plays it right, he should be on the right side of the 7 as well. And that's a good shot. That is perfect. You can just drop the 7 in. And he should also, the other problem he needs to get here, he needs to get the good angle on this 7, the 8 cue ball will go to there. And if he can get sort of square like that, that's pretty good. He can draw up for this 9. Well, that wasn't the shot I would have played, because he's gone way high on this 9, and this puts the pressure on, not only to make the cut, but to get the pace right in this cue ball. And it's gone in. Well, hats off to Acero, because this is a good response here. Well, if the standard in this match, apart from that safety there that, or that shot that Mr9ball played, well, Mr9ball's now learned as well that if he starts making silly mistakes or poor safeties, he's going to pay the price, because Acero has got in and ran the rack and administered due punishment for that careless shot by Mr9ball. And now we've got another big delay here. I wonder if Mr9ball's changed his camera settings. Right, I know what I'm going to do. If you just bear with me, guys, for 2 minutes, not even as long as that, but I am just going to tab out, and I'm going to change this mouse because I don't like this mouse that I'm using for my on-screen activity. Hang on a sec. Right, we should be back. It might be the time of day. It might be the time of day on Twitch, late in the afternoon or whatever on a Friday. So we're still in the 5th rack here, 3 racks to 1 to Mr9ball. It's been an excellent start from Mr9ball. Yeah, so Bedhead is on Twitch and he's not getting any lag, so is it Popman that's getting the lag? Or he needs to check he hasn't got something else running. He might be doing something else, might be eating into his connection, I don't know. Tried YouTube, there was no stream at all. Well, there's 2 or 3 people on YouTube. Yeah, well, I think what you should do, Popman, and this is probably the right thing to do, is just kill your connection, do a restart on the PC, and then come back and see if that does it. Yeah, you can't be downloading something. I mean, the thing is, I'll tell you something as well, though. I left the PC on while I was at work today, and when I came in, the PC wants to do a restart, so Windows has done an update, and my PC is ready to do a restart. Obviously, I haven't done it since I just got home from work, but you know, the other thing is, if you're downloading Windows updates while you're actually trying to watch a stream, that doesn't help. But half the time you don't know what's happening, so it could be that. Well, Acero kicking at the 3, trying to get it safe, but no joy. Well, the other thing as well, Popman, is if it's a bit choppy, click on the little cogwheel at the bottom right hand corner of the stream and just change it to 720 resolution. It'll run better that way. It won't be as sharp, but it'll run better. And it should be up and running on, excuse me, it should be up and running on all the 4 channels: YouTube, Twitch. That's my dinner coming back to get me now. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and on Mixer. Everything should be working okay. All that was tested and checked just before I went live. I managed to get enough time to do it. So Mr9ball at the table with yet another chance to run out. And problem ball is that one there. That 7 ball is just in an awkward place. And this is not easy either. This is another little tricky control shot on the 5 ball. But again, he's got the pace right here. I don't know whether Mr9ball's been in practicing for a while, but he's definitely hitting the spot here. And he's played that well. A little bit of spin to come round behind the 7 to leave it long. Now, has he got the angle just to stud and draw back off this 7? Oh, he's perfect. I think he's got the angle is just perfect just to kill it. Leave the angle to drop down onto the 10. Yeah, he's fine. He can just help it with a bit of spin. And it's going to be 4-1. Well, this is the type of form you want to be hitting when you're at the business end of a tournament. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, he certainly has improved a lot. And if he's been putting in the time and the practice, then who is it that said, you know, I can't remember, but it's a good old sporting cliche. Somebody says, oh, you're really lucky, yep, and the more I practice, the luckier I get, and that is true. That is true in every sense of the word. So 4-1 to Mr9ball, and acero. Well, that's the thing about, I say this about a lot of these Japanese players, they don't let you know anything. They don't go into a lot of conversation, they don't type anything in the chat, they just focus on what's to be done. And I don't think acero will be panicking. I think he'll just be waiting in a decent chance, and he's had one decent chance, and that's the rack that he won. So you can't say that acero's making mistakes here. I mean, it's not as if he's falling apart. It's just the fact that he needs to get in, and when he does, he just needs to take the chance. Now, Mr9ball's got... In any of the other matches I've watched, Mr9ball will not have this big lag. We're getting this big lag here going on, which is a bit worrying, because it always is a sort of prelude to somebody getting disconnected. Well, we're not calling the 1-6-7 combo. Excuse me. Well, I've just had a proper coughing fit there, guys. The voice is going to come back to me in a second or two. Dear, oh dear. Oh, I'll tell you. Well, Mr9ball did go for the combo, and I think he's got lucky here. Oh, he just managed to sneak that cue ball around acero. That was a good shot. And I think he's got the gap just to go between the 3 and the 6 here. And that needs to bounce. That's almost there. And the angle he has, there's a big wide open space to find the gap to get on that 3 ball into that right middle. And now he's got more work to do, but the simplest thing to do is just to come across to the left and leave the 4 long. He'd be taking a big risk if he tried to get onto it into that left middle. He's going to have to try and draw off this 3 and kill the pace of the cue ball. It's like a draggy draw shot again. And he's played it well. That's excellent. I mean, this guy Acero, he's definitely approaching a tactical genius, because he's actually pulling out the shots I'm saying he should be playing there. That was a very well controlled shot. You have to put enough pace in it to get the draw to work, but you have to dig into it to get the draw and the drag to kill the pace out the cue ball. So that was very well executed, that shot. And now he's in a bit of a problem. Dead straight in the 6, and this is again all about touch. And this is where we all fail, because you can see the shot you want to play. You want to draw back to the middle pocket. And he's decided he's going to line up this 10 combo. He's not taking a risk, so he's having to, well, this looks easy, this. I mean, just hit it slight feather to the right on that 8 ball, and the 10 will go in. And that is a bonus for Acero, because that's against the break. And both players are looking strong. And we might have a good match on here if we don't already have one. I don't go in for syrup and cough sweets and everything. I just suffer it. It'll go eventually. But I think the other thing is, it's all this talking that does it. My throat starts to dry up. I've got my bottle of water here, so I'm okay. I've plenty of liquid to consume. Now, does that 4 ball pass the 8? I think it does. Yeah, it goes. And it's going to have to be a 5-8 combo by the looks of it, possibly. Now, what angles he left himself? Well, that is, again, is actually perfect if he just wants to draw back, or even stun a little bit and try and get as straight as he can on that 5-8. And again, perfect. And now he's going to have to work out how to deal with this 6 ball, and he's got the angle to do it. He can come across to about the circle there, almost in the donut. Again, commentator's eye almost got it again, just like that. Now he's going to brush the 10, and he has to be careful with this one, because he doesn't exactly know 100% how the cue ball's going to react off this 10 ball. And that's why he's, well, he's got a shot, but it is not easy. It is not an easy shot, this. Presumably he's going for it long, is he? He's going to hang it up. Oh dear. Well, it was just asking a bit too much there from this Mr9ball. Good afternoon. Well, if you missed the start of this match here, semi, we've got 2 guys playing pretty well. We missed a 9-ball into a 3-0 lead, I think it was, and then 3-1. And both players are taking every chance they get. Mr9ball left himself too much to do there on that shot, and this is what's given Acero the chance to get back within 1. And I think this match very, very much looks like it could go all the way. Well, it'll all be on YouTube. But I would say it's probably going to be well worth actually watching it later on. So we're into rack number 8. Mr9ball breaking off. 3 ball has gone in. And the 1 ball, I think, is stone cold dead. Nothing doing there. Yeah, that's a shame that... well, I think it was 6 1/2 a dozen with the pair of them. They couldn't... Stubb, I'll be honest with you, as far as I know, half the time Stubb doesn't accept a match time on the bracket if somebody sends him a request. I think he comes into the lobby to try and meet up with them and then just get the match going half the time. So in some respects I think he pisses about too much. Bill's problem is he's got a lot of work going on at the moment, so his time is limited. But at the end of the day, if they agreed a time and Bill didn't turn up, then, you know, whatever circumstances it is, it's all over now. But it just seems like all that effort to go this deep into the tournament and then you end up forfeiting is not good. So Mr9ball looks as if he's called a bank here. Presumably into the left hand middle pocket. He's missed it. And how's his luck? Well, he's left nothing easy, but there is a good angle on this one to come right around in behind the 2. I mean, the crazy thing is, you know, you could see there being a problem with setting a time when it's somebody from the States and maybe somebody from China or Japan, because there's such a big time difference. But I mean, these guys, there's only like an hour's difference in the time, in the time zones that they live in. I think Stubbs East Coast and Bill's Mountain Time. So there's barely an hour's time difference. So you would think it'd be far easier for them to arrange a time to play a match. That's a strange thing about it. Oh, the double hitting the 1. Oh dear, look at this. This is a bit of good luck. I wouldn't be entering any tournament. I don't get enough table time nowadays to justify. I mean, I wouldn't enter something unless I felt it was good enough to actually get through a round or 2. There's no bloody way I'd be entering it. I talk a good game better than I play a good game. I've learnt that recently. Well, Mr9ball has really got a nice piece of luck there. He's got acero corner hooked on the 1. But the other thing is, these balls, and he's tried everything to get out of there. So Mr9ball, I don't know what the hell Mr9ball's doing here. Is he doing this review, the lay of the table before he decides to take his shot now? Because he wasn't doing that in any other matches. But there's an incredible delay going on here before I see his cue. I think he's going to go at some point. We're going to get the disconnect message coming up at any time now. Oh, if it's Cowboy, then I would enter that because I'll tell you the main reason I would enter that because for a couple of reasons. If it's on the 10-footer and it's the narrow pockets like we play every morning on my day off, then I know that I'm more than competitive against pretty much most people that would play it. I mean, all the guys that have, got 2,700 ratings, I mean, I can beat them. Not as often as they beat me, but I can certainly beat them, so I'd be more than competitive in it. Well, did you not set a poll there a wee while ago there? Right, now, I don't know what the hell happened there, because again I was too busy reading the chat. Mr9ball's back with ball in hand. Now it's saying here, he's saying here timer went down. Well, you might be surprised how many people can enter it, because see the likes of this guy acero. That's a type of tournament he wants to be in. Anybody that plays 3 cushion or caroms or anything like that, Cowboy's a good game for that. Plus, Cowboy is a very good game for playing every other game that you're ever going to play, because you use lots of different shots. You're pretty much always using spin one way or another. And the great thing about Cowboy is, you could be 94 points to 24 behind and you can still come back and win it. That's the other great thing about it. As long as you can get a good run and then you can hit your caroms when you get to that stage. Well, if it's going to be done in popularity, it's a 9-ball US Open that we need. We're now 2 years down the line since the last one. And the 9-ball US Open, remember what I said, Tin, if you're ever going to do another one of them, make sure you copy the original tournament, because the settings in it were perfect. So, it is now 5-3 to Mr9ball. Acero breaking off in rack number 9. The break is dry. Well, there is a very thin cut here for Mr9ball. He's going to possibly run into something here. Let's have a look. Yeah, he can cut that, no problem. It just means that the cue ball's going to be running into stuff, I think. Well, he's trying to draw away from it, so yeah, he's trying to dig down to draw away from running into the 10-ball there, but that ended up skewing the cue ball away from the potting angle on that one. So it's a mistake by Mr9ball, and once again, can acero jump on the chance? Again, there's a problem ball, and the problem ball is there. That 7-ball just in an awkward place, although there's room behind the 10-ball to get to the 7. And provided that acero can get to like there or like there on this 6-ball, he can get across for the 7. So he's got the angle this way. And he should be able, and he needs to make sure he gets right down into the corner. He doesn't want to leave this short. And that will do. Now, can he dig in deep enough here to avoid running into the 8? That's actually what he wants to happen here. He doesn't want to be running into the 8 if he can help it. Well, he's took the risk. He's got away with it. So, it looks like Acero is going to get back to within 1 here. Well, this has been a pretty good standard from both players, and there's not many matches where you'll get that. Very often you'll get one player who is very consistent and the other one's just making far too many mistakes or dropping out of position and that sort of stuff. But so far for the first half of this match, it's been a pretty good standard. And the break goes back to Mr9ball. Well, that's, as I said, it's 2 years now since we've had a US Open 9-ball. And you've got to go by what the favourite is, what everybody plays. Well, we had that 8-ball bar table World Championships, which was a bloody good tournament. That was a tough tournament. A tough enough game as it is, but when it's on that tiny toy table, it's even more difficult. Well, if we look at this, 3 again. 3 goes, plenty of room and plenty of space to find a way onto the 4. And once again, he's played it well. Well, you've got to say, with this chance that Mr9ball's got himself here, he should be back into a 2-rack lead. Well, the most confusing final was the straight pool final. I get totally befuddled and confused at the end of that bloody match. I mean, the match was over, and I still didn't know what had happened until after the match. And I was sitting watching it. I was totally engrossed looking at the pack of balls, and Sebi potted a ball. I think it was into the middle pocket, and I totally missed it. I was too busy studying what might be left or what could be made, and then the next thing you know, the bloody thing's finished. And Franco had his chance in that, so he did. Well, I mean, the one thing I'm a stickler for is when you have a World Championship, is you have it in your schedule every year. There is no continuity in VP4 with big tournaments. There never has been. I always made sure that when I was doing the snooker on VP3, I made sure it was on when the snooker was on. Every year, never missed. So, Mr9ball goes back into the 2-rack lead, and he's made one, what I would call a really poor shot that sticks in my mind. He's missed a difficult pot, but he's really Mr9ball's unforced errors must be pretty low. If we were actually keeping stats for this match, his unforced errors has got to be pretty low. And when you have that going for you, then that can also explain why he's leading 6 racks to 4. So acero is going to have to dig in deep. And now what does Mr9ball do? Now is that the 4 ball? Yes it is. So he's got big problems here. The best he could probably do is leave a bank on the 4. Well, he thinks he can get it to cut this. Oh, that's a cracking shot. That's an excellent shot again. Now you just might want to play this with a wee bit of inside. I don't know. He's going to be going over to the right, so he's playing it with a bit of inside left just to check it and straighten it up a bit. Stop it running away over to the rail. And again, a very well executed shot. I wonder how many guys that play VP4 really understand how they're going to use English to their benefit. I'm pretty certain there's quite a lot of them don't. And this is why they should be watching matches like this. When you've got a couple of guys who know what they're doing and they're able to use that English to control the cue ball. Well, that's gone a bit short. Now, what does Mr9ball do? Does he go all out for the cut? Because there's no guarantee he's going to get on this 8 ball. If he runs too far, he could block himself out here. And if he's going to go for it, he's going to have to be 100% committed. This is a big ask. No, that is not what I said. I'm talking about a lot of the guys that play VP4, if they know how to, if they watch, I mean, if you watch that shot there that Mr9ball played, when I said he was at the 6 he was potting, that he's just going to have to put a bit of inside left just to check the cue ball and straighten up and stop it running away. You know, when he was potting that ball there and the cue ball was going there, the inside English just brought it. It was always going to go that way, but it stopped it running that way. And things like that are what a lot of players should be studying. And half the guys that come in and bang balls about in VP4, they don't want to take. I keep moaning about this all the time. They don't ever set to achieve getting to that next level and being able to try and control that cue ball better. Because that's the secret to running tables. It's so simple. It's not a secret. It's an open secret that if you play the game often enough and you're willing to learn, you'll learn that and you'll pick it up. Well, Mr9ball now has a 3 rack gap. Well, wrong side of the 4. Now again, he has to have it in his mind what he's intending to do here, because the 5 ball isn't going past the 8. It's too tight. And he's the wrong side, so he might be looking to try and play a combo. Yep, he's lined it up. And he's looking to play the combo by hitting that 5 there and going to there on the 8 ball to make the combo. Yeah, not easy to judge it, but I think he's got lucky. He's left nothing easy here for Acero. And even that puts the pressure on Acero, because Acero knows he's got a chance here. And it all hinges on this 5 ball. And he simply has to get it, or get a good safety. Acero would have wanted something a lot easier than this to get him started. And he's overcut it. And that's what happens. The pressure was heaped on him there to get that 5 ball. Yeah, I must admit, I don't think it's a good idea to try overlapping big tournaments. Especially when somebody might want to play in 2 of them. That creates even more problems with arranging matches with your opponent. And the other thing is, depending on what type of tournaments they are, if they're overlapping, you're then going to have the one lost side been hung up, waiting and players coming through to complete matches and all of that stuff. Now I would drop that idea straight away. If you can get one to work, if this tournament eventually finishes without any major hitches, then fine. But in terms of running 2 where one's going to overlap the other, no, I'd stay well away from that idea. I think you're just opening a can of worms there. Oh, Mr9ball. Well, it looks as if he's going to double his lead here. He's going to go to 8-4 if he can get this 8, 9 and 10. And it is going to be 8-4. And Mr9ball is not really showing any major signs of weakness here. And now there is a major crisis on hand for Acero. Acero with a break in rack number 13, and he's got no joy. Well, he went all out for the pot and the one there, Mr9ball. And Acero again coming to the table with nothing inviting for him. That last rack, Acero had a difficult cut he felt he had to go for, and that's what cost him in that rack. And now he's coming to the table with nothing on for him here. And all the balls are wide open. So again, so much pressure on him to get this 1 ball safe. One way or another, either in a pocket or well hidden. Well, that's a good shot. Now, the thing is, was anything called there? Did he call the bank on the 1? Because he's drawn back on the 2. Acero. I don't know what he did there, but hopefully somebody else was watching and paying proper attention. Because he played the bank on the 1, or he played the 1, but did he call the 2? He did call the 2, right, so he played the draw into the 2, that's fine. Now, who's skipped to Malou? That's another new name. Is that another VP4 player in disguise, or somebody that stumbled across the stream? I wonder. Well, this is going to drop nicely on the 4. Well, maybe not so nice. He's a wee bit further off the rail. He's going to run into the 8. Now, can he brush off this 8 and still have a shot in the 5? If he can hit most of this 8 ball, he might be able to just hold for the 5 without blocking himself off in the 9. Let's have a look. Well, that looks pretty good to me. I think he's going to cut that 4. He's going to finish dead on the 8, and he'll still have a shot in the 5 if he doesn't hit it too hard. Well, he hit it a lot harder than I thought he would. And it's, again, Mr9ball has got lucky here, I think, because he's blocked out Acero. And again, Acero, there's nothing more infuriating than when you're behind and your opponent does miss. And that's about 3 occasions that Mr9ball has left Acero nothing, or at least the one that he did leave was so difficult. And now Mr9ball's going to get ball in hand. Did you? I don't remember skip to Malou in any streams that I've done recently. You're going to have to remind me what you explained to me then. I've totally forgotten. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Where's it going? Oh, well. He's definitely blocked himself out here. He's going to have to jump this, I think. Well, he's managed to spin it round it. That was another cracking shot. As he could not get clean to that 5 ball. Well, look at what he's left himself here in the 6. Well, good luck with this shot. But he'll be on the 7. You didn't used to play. I don't remember that name. Well, that was a tough ass there for Mr9ball, but it is now a clear open chance for Acero, and well, we all know what he needs to do. He has got to take this out, and he can't go blocking himself behind the 9. He's okay. He's got to get this rack put away. And the match has been on for an hour now. And this is just going to be rolled in dead weight. He just wants to finish. If he can finish sort of there on the 9, he'd be perfect. Well, he's gone short. That has just gone short. He's going to have to just work the cue ball here, because it's a bit more of a cutback on this 9. And this is not pretty. And he's played it well again. A little recovery shot. And so Acero is going to get one back. But he's in desperate need of a wee bit of luck running his way. He hasn't had an awful lot there from the chances that Mr9ball could have left him. He's not done Acero any favours at all. And that cue ball has hit the ceiling and gone through the floor after it landed. So Mr9ball had the cue jacked up too far. And I think he had the amp on. And so Acero could have a bonus here with ball in hand. A quick 110 combo would do him the power of good. And that was careless from Mr9ball. And all of a sudden, that is 2 quick racks. And Acero's back to within 2. And Mr9ball wants to get his focus back on here pretty sharpish. You don't want to be seeing the finishing line before you've got there. Still a job to be done. Well, this table is not ideal. 7 ball over on that left hand side by the middle pocket is awkward. And a big bit of travelling to be done to get from the 2 to the 3. Well, this is going to be a toughie to find a way to get that cue ball up the table for a shot in the 3. He's going to have to dig down, and that looks pretty good. Excellent. But the problem ball is going to be the one that might hold up Mr9ball here. That one there, that's the one he's going to have to deal with one way or another. Looking at where it is there, that's very tight, that's not going anywhere there. Well, it looks as if he's going to try and pot the 5 and get as straight as he can on that 6 just to roll the 7 in. He doesn't want the cue ball to be escaping when he pots this 6 ball. So off the railing out for the 6. I see he's gone a wee bit too far. He wanted to be straighter than that. And now he's going to have to really baby this 6 ball into the pocket. Of course, the other problem is where that cue ball is when it hits this 7. If he's going to hit this at any, he can't. I don't think he can pot that 7 from here. He's going to be in danger of scratching or just hitting the knuckle of that pocket. So he looks as if he's going to be going all around the table here to try and get bottom side of the 7. Oh, if it doesn't scratch, it looks pretty good. Well, again, he's just come out a wee bit. But the 7 is off the rail. Well, this will be a good run out here for Mr9ball if he can follow it up. No, that's not a record. No, no. I think the semi-pro, what do you call them? Franco match, I think it had about 25 or 30 watching it at one time. But this will be a very solid run out here for Mr9ball. Total focus. And has played it sweet as a nut. Every ball so far. And as long as that just holds up, he's going to be within one. And it is a really great time for a solid run out here for Mr9ball. Well, there's nothing much acero can do about that. It's now 9-6. And Mr9ball with the break. And this time he's toned it down a wee bit. 9-ball has dropped in. Well, he can play a kick, he can play a push out, or he can try a jump. He has those three choices. Always dangerous if you decide to play a jump shot when the object ball that you're trying to jump to is next to a rail, because you're always likely to bounce off the table. So he's playing the push out. Now that there is a sensible enough push out. It leaves a tempter for a cross bank for acero. Now he's decided he's not interested, putting Mr9ball back in. Now what will he do? Well, exactly what I said. He's going to go for the cross bank on the one. At least that's what he's called. So this will this will hurt acero if Mr9ball can knock this one ball in. I think it's gone too far, yeah. So acero took the risk by putting Mr9ball back in, and he's now, well, again, he's got a shot in the one, but it's that 8-ball is just a hindrance. When it's there, you always know it's right in front of you. And he's got it. And there isn't any problem with the 4-ball into the middle. The 7, not a problem. So acero now, once again, has to run the table. Absolutely cannot make a mistake. And he's going a bit high there. A bit heavy with the pace. Oh shit, I forgot about the 4. I'm thinking about the 5. I'm getting excited here and forgetting about the 4. Well, he is a bit high now in the 5. That is about a 1.5 feet short of where he wanted to be. And this is a tough cut. He's now out of shape. And relying on a good bit of luck to get nice on this 6-ball should he cut this 5. And that needs to keep going. And that looks pretty good. Oh, again, just putting that little bit of left-hand English to spin off the rail, and that just caused the ball to rattle in the jaws. That's how accurate you have to be with the pots, with these jaws and these tables. So acero wins another one, and he has to win the next 3, this one included. So that's back to 9-7. And with the break, gets no joy. And he could be in trouble here. I don't know whether Mr9ball can squeeze that one past the 3 without actually hitting it. He's going to try and hook Mr. Acero. It doesn't look quite on. Now is he looking to brush past the 3 with the cue ball here? He needs to be careful with that shot, because that one ball will come off the rail and he could leave it on. Well, it's always the same in these matches. Mr9ball's been leading all the way, and well, he has managed to squeeze it between the rail and the 3 ball, and that ended up a pretty good shot. I'll tell you, if acero can win this rack somehow or other, then that'll really stack the pressure on Mr9ball. At the moment, Mr9ball's just waiting on a mistake happening for a chance to seal the match, but it's anybody's match right now. The outcome of this rack will have a big bearing on it, especially if acero gets a chance and then runs the table. That'll really give him confidence to stay in there and hang in there. Now, is it going to be the billiard onto the 9? I don't know whether he can see enough of the 1. Oh no, that's too close. No, that's not going to go. So a quick reminder to any latecomers who joined the stream. We didn't get the chance to see Mr. Bill playing stub or real Poland power. To cut a long story short there, Mr. Bill ended up not turning up for the match, and Real Poland Power got advanced to the next round, and he's waiting on the winner of this match. And then tomorrow, touch wood, and if nothing else has changed, we'll have the hot seat match tomorrow afternoon at 4 PM British Summer Time. That will be 11 AM East Coast Time, 8 AM Pacific Time, and that will be between Spectre Dawn and Vince's Race to 14. No, it never started. No. I think it was set for 11 o'clock at night, Bill's time, and he never made it. And so, but as I said, they did an awful lot of pissing about. There was nothing up in the bracket at all. I never ever saw any time on the bracket, and I went to bed, and then the both of them, I sent a message to Stubb on Facebook when Bill was in the lobby saying he wanted to play the match, and Stubb said he was at work, so nothing could be done there. So anyway, I left it up to the two of them to talk to one another, and that was the end result, a forfeit. Oh, I never even noticed. Is Slim there? Oh, there he is. I never even noticed you, Slim. You must have been lurking in the back of the gallery. In the cheap seats. We're all sitting down at the front here. Right. Well, Mr9ball's cue's disappeared again. I'm still thinking he's threatening to disappear here. Oh, there we go. Well, he's called the kick on the 1. But he's just really hoping to get safe, really. Well, this is, although acero can pot the 1, he's going to have to play a damn good shot to get anywhere near this 2 ball. And then look at where the 2 ball is. I mean, it's not going into the pocket where the 9 ball is. It goes past the 5, but again, I say it again, every time, it will go past the 5, provided you can get there to give it a shot. Well, he's done his damnedest to get there. He's just fallen short. And now does he go all out for the cut? Because if he makes a mistake here, it could be his last shot. That's how serious it is. It looks as if he's going for it. The 3-ball still doesn't have a pocket either. Oh, it's gone in, and he's nudged onto the 3, and I think he'll take that every day of the week. Okay, he's the wrong side of the 3, but he's got nothing much to do to have a shot in the 4. But there is still a stumbling block for Acero. That 6-ball sandwiched in between the 10 and the 7. It is not in a pretty position. And the other thing is you're watching, I mean, especially with Acero in these last couple of racks, this rack here, for example, he's got a hell of an amount of work to do here to run this table. And where he is in the 5, let's have a look. He's going to have to use all his ingenuity to get this cue ball somewhere near the 6. Is he going to find a gap? That just needs to keep running. That is absolutely superb. He can pinch a wee bit of angle here. He might even not risk it. He might just run through. But that is an excellent shot for position. He is working his backside off here to get this rack put away. Well, he's gone around the corner. He's gone high again. And this is just putting a wee bit more pressure on himself. No, listen, I'm not streaming any Friday night 9-ball when this is on. And I'm too tired as well. I'm going to go to my bed early tonight. I'm back up at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. I've got a week off at the end of October. I'll do Friday night 9-ball then. Well, that just needs to keep running. It just needs to keep going. Well, this has been an absolutely superb run out here from Acero. Round of applause for this run out if he gets this 10-ball. That was excellent. I would be even tempted to type nice run in the chat. That's how bloody good it was. Get a chance and watch that run out again, because that was top drawer. You cannot ask for anything better than that. When you're under pressure, you're trailing 9-7. You simply have to win a rack to stay in the match. And you get that chance. And the way those balls were sitting, it was not pretty. But that was a tremendous run out. Hats off to the guy for that effort. And once again, we've got this big, long delay. And I'm surprised that Mr9ball hasn't disconnected here. But he must have a hell of a lot of crap running his PC at the moment with this going on. At least it seems that way. So it's now 9-8 to Mr9ball. He's breaking off in rack number 18. He might be on that, you know, review the shot thing before you hit A or whatever the hell it is. I hate that. It's really infuriating because you do think that the player's losing his connection when you don't see the cue stick. Well, Acero trying to hide behind a 5 there. He didn't get there. But he's not left anything on for Mr9ball. And look at these balls. Have a look at the table. Woody. What's Woody's name? Woody the... What's his first name? Because I've totally forgotten his name. Woody was talking about doing a dual commentary. Well, it was a long shot there for Mr9ball, but he went for the 10 combo for the match there. But he's left the 2 on. And a nice angle to drop behind the 2 off this 1 ball. I said he'd left the 2 on, he's left the 1 on. I'm getting excited again, folks. I get carried away. But once again, Acero has got the table at his mercy. Now that other rack, that last rack that he run out on, I wouldn't have given odds for him running it. With the way these balls are here, he has got every chance of taking this match all the way. And stacks of pressure on Acero. Perfect angle on the 4, plenty of room round behind the 8 ball, not a problem getting on the 5. He just needs to get out into the table. He doesn't want to be short on the inside of this 5, and that will do. Big cough coming up here, folks. Well, we could be going all the way. I don't like where that 10 ball is though. That 10 ball is just a wee bit of a worry. You've just got to get nice on that 9 to make it all so easy on the 10. Oh, it's Tony. Yeah. Well, Tony was talking about doing a dual commentary. The one way to do that is through Steam, because he's got Steam, and they brought out Steam Chat a while ago, which I tested with Polament, and it sounds pretty good on Steam Chat. So that's one way of having dual commentary in a match. Oh, and that just needs to keep running. It just needs to keep going. And this is going to be the tester, because he's going to have to work this cue ball here. Oh, this is the pressure all on here for Acero, because even if he gets this 9, it's going to have to be a good shot. This was always the worry, in how good you are on this 9 to get a shot on that 10 down the rail. Oh dear. And he's went all out for it, and he never got on the 10. Well, if you're going to lose the match, this is a sorry way to end up losing it. But Mr9ball is going to have to dig right into this 9 ball and try and drag the cue ball over to the left as much as he can. And that was every chance of going all the way, but it was always the worry where the 10 ball was sitting. And if you can't get good on the 9, it was always going to stack the pressure, and Mr9ball wastes no time. And so this 10 ball will bring a huge sigh of relief for Mr9ball. He has got out of jail. But for that position on the 9, it would have been all the way. But what an end to a pretty high standard match, it has to be said. Probably about the best in the tournament, especially considering the way both players contributed. I would say that was the best match from the standard of both players. And Mr9ball wins out by 10 racks to 8. And well done to him. And the bad news for Mr9ball is that he is now going to have to face real polling power in the next round on the one-loss side, and then the winner of that match will meet the loser of the hot seat match, which is going to be tomorrow afternoon, folks. Hopefully we can get this bracket to go across. We can see Spectre Dawn is going to be playing Vince Says, and that will be tomorrow afternoon at 4 PM British Summer Time, and I will be there. And so until then, folks, again, thanks for your company, thanks for the chat, and hopefully if you don't get the chance to be there tomorrow, remember to go to my YouTube channel. You'll be able to watch the full match. You can watch this one again, it'll be well worth watching again. And if anybody's asking how did the Acero Mr9ball match go? Don't tell them, just tell them to go to YouTube and watch it, and tell them it's well worth the watch. So until tomorrow, I will bid you good day, good evening, and goodbye for the time being.